Today's symbolic rite of passage is dedicated to the 2025 and 2026 year groups as they enter into the pharmacy profession. My name is Naomi Arthur Finn, and I'm your moderator for this morning's August occasion. Shall we please receive our students as they proceed into the auditorium?
the venue into your hands. We ask for your presence. We commit all functionaries into your hands. We ask that may you function through them. Those on their way coming, may you bring them here safely. We thank you for an answered prayer. This we pray in the name of Christ Jesus our Lord. Amen.
Thank you very much. Please, we shall remain upstanding to sing the UCC anthem. Department of Music to help us with it.
UCC, we are the liveliest of them all. UCC, we are the teachers of the nation. We learn to teach, we find out and pass on. We counsel, we guide, that all may be enlightened. UCC, therefore rise to your call. UCC, to the call, let us rise to our call, let us rise, where it is novice, lumen. UCC, therefore rise to your call. UCC, to the call, let us rise to our call, let us rise, where it is novice, lumen. UCC, we are the humblest of them all. UCC, we are the bedrock of our knowledge. Being proud of this, we students and workers in concert shall work, that your image may be heightened. UCC, therefore rise to your call. UCC, to the call, let us rise to our call, let us rise, where it is novice, lumen. UCC, therefore rise to your call. UCC, to the call, let us rise to our call, let us rise, where it is novice, lumen. UCC, we are the kindest of them all. UCC, we are the branch out of a chroma. We train, we mold, and live by his mission to impart our virtues, that Ghana may be strengthened. UCC, therefore rise to your call. UCC, to the call, let us rise to our call, let us rise, where it is novice, lumen. UCC, therefore rise to your call. UCC, to the call, let us rise to our call, let us rise, where it is novice,
Thank you very much, Department of Music. Shall we please resume our seat? To welcome us, we have the Provost of the College of Humanities. To welcome us, we have the Provost in the person of Cohas, in the person of Professor Martins Echo, to welcome us, as I indicated. Please, a round of applause as Professor Echoes comes up. You can do it better.
The Vice-Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast, Professor Johnson Yakubu, the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Rosemond Buohini, former Pro-VC of UCC, Professor Dora Francisca EDU-BUANDOH, the Registrar, Pharmacy Council, Dr. Daniel Amani Dankwa, Provost of various colleges here present, guest speakers, the Dean of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, and Deans of various schools here present, directors of various directorates here at UCC, heads of various departments, the clergy, gentlemen of the press, distinguished guests, students, ladies and gentlemen. Professor Chair, I have the primary task of welcoming everyone this morning. And naturally, this should be a simple task, but I must say that as I stand here, I stand with mixed feelings and with many events of the last 5 to 6 years rushing through my mind in rapid succession. I will start by saying, this is the day the Lord has made. We should rejoice and be glad in it. It gladdens my heart very greatly to see a dream come true. A dream bettered by the provost at the time, and who today, as fate will have it, or should I more appropriately say, as God has destined it, is chairing this momentous occasion as the sitting Vice-Chancellor of this great university, the University of Competitive Choice. Not many believed in this dream at the time, the dream of establishing in University of Cape Coast the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. Some, like the brothers of Joseph, even wanted the dream dead. But some of us believed in the dream, risked all to support the dream and the visionary leadership of the provost, now the Vice-Chancellor. Until date, we are still bearing the cross of supporting a noble cause. I remember all the labor and toils, from the putting together of the document, numerous travels in the day and night to engage major industry players and stakeholders, the setting up of the steering committee for the establishment of the school, which later transitioned to the implementation committee, the eventual giant leap of faith in establishing the school, to the appointment of the founding dean, Professor David Daku Obiri, an excellent academic and professional of great repute, and a fine gentleman by every standard, who worked tirelessly to get the school started, but whom very sadly were lost to the cold hands of death before he could experience the pleasure of seeing most of the seeds he had sown blossom into very beautiful plants. Professor Chair, you will recall the events at the college board meeting, where as provost and chairman of the board, you first presented the proposal for the establishment of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. You will recall how those who were determined to ensure the dream was aborted came in their numbers and relying on the strength of their number to carry out their determinate counsel. Prof. Chair, you will recall how God gave us the wisdom to expose the hypocrisy of dream killers and destiny destroyers, and how the strength of the number they had relied on gave way in the face of superior argument and truth. Professor Chair, a palm tree climber is not expected to tell everything he sees from up above, so I will refrain from telling the rest of the story. Prof. Chair, ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular honor to welcome you all on behalf of the university management and management of the College of Health and Allied Sciences to this historic event, the inaugural white coat ceremony of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences of the University of Cape Coast. The School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences is currently the youngest of the 4 schools in the College of Health and Allied Sciences. The School of Medical Sciences, School of Nursing and Midwifery, and the School of Allied Health Sciences are the other schools in the college, and each of the schools consists of several academic departments. The School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences was established in August 2018 to train students to obtain Doctor of Pharmacy degree to expand the healthcare delivery team of professionals. It is an undergraduate professional program. The school, which has a vision of becoming a school of pharmacy and pharmaceutical sciences with a global acclaim, is strategically positioned in the university for the academic and professional development of not only professional pharmacists, but also for building future generation of academics and scholars in the field of pharmacy and pharmaceutical sciences. Prof. Chair, ladies and gentlemen, as a College of Health and Allied Sciences, we provide students unprecedented opportunities in health-related disciplines by offering multiple undergraduate and postgraduate programs, which links the vision and mission of the University of Cape Coast to the world. We have embraced new models with unrestricted freedom in order to innovate and build our structures to link education to industry. This underscores our philosophy of linking education to industry, knowledge to experience, and theory to practice. The diverse health professionals and scientists in the college collaborate to provide interdisciplinary and interprofessional models of education reflective of today's theme of healthcare workforce. Prof. Chair, ladies and gentlemen, the College of Health and Allied Sciences is growing in leaps and bounds, and efforts are underway in expanding the frontiers of health and the training of competent healthcare professionals and scientists. We are in the process of establishing the School of Public Health, the School of Optometry and Vision Science, the School of Biomedical and Molecular Science, as well as rolling out additional demand-driven professional and academic programs. Prof. Chair, we are grateful to you for first initiating the process as provost, and later after becoming the vice chancellor, and with the backing of the university management, supported the college to establish the Biomedical and Clinical Research Center, which is actively working towards facilitating cutting-edge research in health sciences. The center has the mandate to ensure translation of basic scientific research output from the bench to the bedside through development of affordable medicines and therapies. We are hopeful that the center will position the university as an institution of health research with worldwide acclaim and help provide impetus for finding solutions to some of the problems bedeviling the health sector. Prof. Chair, we are also very grateful to the university management under your leadership for massively improving facilities and infrastructure across the university. The college is particularly grateful for facilitating the completion of some of the projects of the School of Medical Sciences at the HS Amonokofi Medical Village, which were abandoned for more than a decade. The completion of these projects has not only facilitated the relocation of the school from its temporary location to the HS Amonokofi Medical Village, the permanent site. The improvement in facilities has also made it possible for the Ghana Medical and Dental Council to grant the school's request of increasing student intake by about 100%. I wish to add, Prof. Chair, that the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences is taking over the former School of Medical Sciences building as soon as renovation works are complete. Professor Chair, the college is also profoundly grateful to the university management under your leadership for the ongoing construction of the first phase of the multipurpose College of Health and Allied Sciences complex, which is rapidly nearing completion, and all things being equal, and by the grace of God, will be due for commissioning later in the year. The completion of this project will not only bring about improvement in facilities and infrastructure, but also provide more enabling environment for teaching and learning. Ladies and gentlemen, dear parents and guardians, I can assure you that the University of Cape Coast is the best place to send your words at the moment. The global recognition of the university in terms of its rankings attests to this fact. The University of Cape Coast for 3 consecutive years has ranked first in Ghana, first in West Africa, and among the top 10 on the African continent, according to the Times Higher Education World Universities ranking. We also rank among the best globally in terms of research influence. So why settle for less in your choice of higher education for your words? Here at UCC, we are committed to equipping students with the knowledge and skills to thrive in a rapidly changing environment. We have innovative curricula designed to prepare our students for the future of healthcare profession. We ensure that life at COHAS is not only about the pursuit of knowledge that will enable our graduates practice the various disciplines of health science. We are indeed training them to become the next generation of thinkers, healthcare practitioners who are able to innovate in the face of new challenges in the post-COVID world. Prof. Chair, ladies and gentlemen, while we relish in our achievements and global recognition through the Times Higher Education World Universities ranking, we recognize that to remain in the position of a leading institution will demand greater commitment, dedication, innovation, and creativity. And that's the reason, like Apostle Paul, we count not ourselves to have apprehended. But this one thing we do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before, we press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling. And to this call, to our call, we shall rise. Now, to you, our dearest students, waiting to don your white coats at this historic ceremony, my heartiest congratulations to all of you, class of 2025 and class of 2026. Today, you are starting your journey into the pharmacy profession at this inaugural white coat ceremony of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, College of Health and Allied Sciences, University of Cape Coast. I commend you for choosing to be part of history. Today is an important milestone in your growth, and we know this is a special moment for you and your loved ones. We are glad and indeed grateful to God that you have made it this far. The College of Health and Allied Sciences and the university as an institution will continue to stand with you to educate, support, and prepare you to become responsible, confident, and caring healthcare providers. Prof. Chair, ladies and gentlemen, the white coat is an international symbol of professionalism, not just for the pharmacy profession, but for the health science disciplines broadly. It says to the public that you are a trusted member of the health professions, that you have sought a career of service to others, that you have invested significant efforts in obtaining an education that gives you the knowledge and skills to serve others in your specific discipline. It is a symbol of trust, a symbol that indicates you understand that the health of others is in your hands and that you will always behave in a way that is in their best interest. It is a symbol of dedication to responsibility, inspiration for excellence, and a professional designation. Dearest students, as I congratulate you and commend every one of you for progression through the foundation phase of a rigorous academic and professional Doctor of Pharmacy program, I wish to entrust you also with a greater commitment as you take the pledge of professionalism at this ceremony today. I advise you all, therefore, to embrace the ideals of professionalism on your career journey. Professionalism encompasses a variety of characteristics, including selflessness, duty, honor, integrity, and respect. I emphasize professionalism today because it is the cornerstone of the pharmacy profession. Once you embrace this concept, then you truly become a student pharmacist. And I trust you will always remember this ceremony and what the white coat symbolizes to you as a professional and to the patients you will serve in your career. Always remember that you are part of an institution of global acclaim. If you really make the most of the next couple of years at this institution, you will walk away with a foundation to accomplish things in your life that you never dreamed were possible. I recognize that the world is rapidly changing, and artificial intelligence, popularly known as AI, we know that that is the next big disruptor in healthcare innovation. Many believe AI will make medication use safer and improve adherence. But even as AI gains importance, it is important not to forget about the original AI, authentic interactions. As pharmacists authentically engage with patients, they will be better able to educate them and their caregivers to help them live more productive lives. To the many family and friends who have joined us today, your continued support and encouragement will be critical to these students as they continue in their pursuit of the PharmD degree. I'm very delighted to see many of you today, and I want to personally welcome you to this ceremony. I can't imagine the pride you must have towards your amazing sons and daughters, nieces and nephews, and grandchildren here today, about to don their first white coats. It is such an accomplishment just to be here, and your pride is very well warranted. I am sure they are glad to have you as supporters here today and through the rest of the journey. Prof. Chair, permit me to take this opportunity to extend our profound appreciation to all our major stakeholders, collaborators, and partners. Most importantly, the management of the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital for their invaluable support over the years. It is impossible to achieve anything as a college without their support. The CEO, Dr. Eric Kofi-Njedu, has demonstrated immense commitment in supporting all our activities, and sometimes even at the expense of at the CCTH, Dr. Robert Inkum has also been a huge pillar of support to the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. We are profoundly grateful to all our preceptors, part-time lecturers, and other resource persons who continue to support the training of our students and facilitate experiential learning. Prof. Chair, what will fail me in fully appreciating our young, vibrant, and indefatigable faculty at the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences under the leadership of Professor Elvis Oforia-Meyao, as well as other faculty in the college who support the school. I say Aiko to all of you and pray that the good Lord will continue to bless you and strengthen you. Faculty, I'm sure you are proud of the decisions you made in accepting these bright young students and their achievements so far. I'm also sure you are proud of all you've done to teach, mentor, and support them so far. The job is not yet done. Let all hands continue to be on deck as we commit to building the next generation. And on this note, Prof. Chair, I welcome once again everyone to this historic moment, the maiden edition of the White Coat Ceremony of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences of the College of Health and Allied Sciences of the great University of Cape Coast, the University of Competitive Choice. And I do hope we will have a memorable moment. I thank you all for your kind attention, and may God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Provost, for welcoming us. We want to inform each one of us that this program is live on TV UCC, YouTube, and Facebook GPSA. We are privileged to have the Dean of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences in the person of Professor Elvis O. Ameo. Please let us give it up to him, even as he comes to tell us why we are gathered here.
Indeed, this is the day the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. Psalm 118:24. Again, the students, you can testify that if the Lord had not been on our side, let the class of 2025 and 2026 say, if the Lord had not been on our side. Psalm 124. Professor Chair, the Vice Chancellor, Pro-Vice Chancellor, former Pro-Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Keynote Speaker, Registrar of Pharmacy Council, President of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, Deans and Directors present, reps from sister universities, heads of department, invited guests, faculty, parents, students, media partners, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to the Maiden White Coat ceremony of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences here in the University of Competitive Choice. As Provost said, the #1 university in Ghana, the 1 in West Africa, 7 in Africa. I'll leave the rest to Professor Chair to tell us. The School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences is one of the 4 schools in the College of Health and Allied Sciences, as we heard from the Provost, and was established in the year 2018, August, to train pharmacy students to obtain Doctor of Pharmacy degree to expand the healthcare delivery team of professionals. The school is strategically positioned in the university for academic and professional development of not only professional pharmacists, but also for capacity building of future generations of academics and scholars in the field of pharmacy and pharmaceutical sciences. Today is an opportunity to acknowledge the dedication of our phenomenal faculty who have tirelessly built this program from the ground up. We also fondly remember the late Professor David Dakubri, the first dean, or should I say the founding dean of the school, whose vision and passion have paved the way for this momentous occasion. May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. The tradition of the White Coat ceremony, synonymous with pharmaceutical and medical professionals, originated in the 19th century. Initially, these professionals were attired in black, but over time, white was used to symbolize the movement towards cleanliness and purity. This ceremony holds significant importance in pharmacy education, as it signifies the transition from didactic studies to clinical or practical studies. Ancient apothecaries, who were known for mixing and preparing portions of medications, wore aprons for clothing protection. This practice evolved into the adoption of white coats, symbolizing a transition from a mere trade to a recognized and esteemed profession of pharmacy. In contemporary pharmacy practice, the white coat has evolved to meet practical needs while retaining its symbolic significance. The pharmacist's white coat is designed with functionality in mind and ensures a balance between professionalism and ease of movement. Prof. Chair, today we don the white coat on 122 students belonging to the class of 2025 and 2026. This ceremony for the 2-year groups has been necessitated by the pandemic-induced changes in the academic calendar. Congratulations to the Doctor of Pharmacy class of 2025 and 2026. Today we celebrate not only your accomplishments, but also the promising future that awaits you. We take pride in your achievements and pledge our unwavering support as you embark on this noble journey. The white coat bestowed upon you today transcends a mere attire. It embodies trust, professionalism, and lifelong commitment to patient care. It also extends beyond the individual wearer, instilling trust and the confidence of patients. It further serves as a symbol of competence, credibility, and unwavering dedication to health and well-being. As you don these coats, bear in mind the weight of responsibility entrusted to you as future pharmacists and embrace compassion, ethics, and professionalism in our practice. Together, let us uphold the esteemed principles of our profession. Long live University of Cape Coast, long live College of Health and Allied Sciences, long live School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. Thank you for your kind attention, and may God bless us all.
Thank you very much, Dean. Our chairman for today's Maiden White Coat ceremony served as the head of department for biomedical and forensic sciences, then Dean, School of Biological Sciences. He also became the provost of the College of Health and Allied Sciences, COHAS. As the provost of COHAS, he championed the establishment of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences for the running of the Doctor of Pharmacy program. His research interests, the interests of our chair, cover multidisciplinary areas, a reflection of his diverse professional training in the area of pharmacy and biomedical sciences. He has taught and supervised undergraduate and postgraduate students with diverse backgrounds, has mentored many lecturers, and served as external examiner in other universities in Ghana. He is an entrepreneur and believes that universities should serve as engines of economic growth and development by building the mindset of students and creating an environment where students will be able to practice what they learn. Aside being an entrepreneur, our chairman for today's August occasion is a pharmacist and biomedical scientist with expertise in parasitology of infectious diseases. All protocol duly observed. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me with an applause to welcome our chairman, the CEO of the University of Competitive Choice, in the person of Professor Johnson Nyako Bwampon. Please, we can do it better.
Thank you for the introduction. I would like to stand on the protocol already established. And I'm overwhelmed and humbled by what I see today. And because of that, I can only add my voice to that of the provost of the College of Health and Allied Sciences and the dean of School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, and on behalf of management of the University of Cape Coast, the University of Competitive Choice, to welcome you to the university. I hope you have seen our beautiful campus. Go and spread the good news. Provost has delivered my message. All that I wanted to say, he has said it. So there's no need to give any further speech. Only to say that I have accepted to chair this function, and with your support, I believe we'll have a very successful ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Please, we are privileged to have the Vice Dean of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences in the person of Dr. Ernest Obese. Let him, as he comes to introduce our keynote speaker for today's occasion.
Thank you very much. Prof. Chair, the Vice Chancellor, kindly permit me to stand on the protocol that has already been established to introduce the distinguished keynote speaker for this maiden White Coat ceremony for the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. She is in the person of Dr. Yvonne Yerinchua Iseku. Dr. Yvonne Yerinchua Iseku is a pharmacist, a pharmacologist, a lawyer, a management consultant, and educator. She has vast experience in leadership, governance, policy, and human resource management. She has led and has been involved in the development of policy and training documents and the drafting and review of constitutions and bylaws for several organizations. She has taught in the areas of pharmacology, toxicology, medical law, and ethics, and also leadership. Dr. Iseku has led and managed the implementation of several projects and community engagement activities on the use, the abuse, and the misuse of medicines in general, and antimicrobials in particular. Dr. Yvonne Iseku is the rector of the Ghana College of Pharmacists, where she is the chief executive, supervising and coordinating the delivery of the mandate of the college, which is to promote specialist training in pharmacy and related disciplines, promotes continuous professional development of pharmacy and related disciplines, promotes research in pharmaceutical practice and related disciplines, and also contribute to the formulation of policies on sound health, medicines, and public health in general. She is the immediate past vice president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, where she led the drive to extend pharmaceutical services and chaired the disciplinary committee of PSGH. She was also the chair of the Ladies Pharmacists Association of Ghana, that's LAPAG, the vice chair of the Community Practice Pharmacists Association, and counselor of the Commonwealth Pharmacists Association. She is also a member of the International Pharmaceutical Federation Commission on Antimicrobial Resistance, where she contributes to providing expertise and advice on antimicrobial resistance across research, pharmacy practice, and education, working with collaborators from public and private spheres, advocating for optimized antimicrobial use, antimicrobial stewardship, and mitigating antimicrobial resistance, exploring global initiatives in antimicrobial resistance and opportunities for pharmacists' involvement, and supporting scientific research to generate knowledge and evidence on antimicrobials to rationalize their use and minimize resistance. Dr. Yvonne Iseku has published several articles in prominent journals with a wide range of professionals, including pharmacists, engineers, educators, and administrators. She has organized and participated in several local and international conferences as chair and speaker of sessions. She has made oral and poster presentations at local and international conferences on matters of current health and pharmaceutical importance. Dr. Yvonne Iseku is a fellow of the Ghana College of Pharmacists, the National Safety Council Ghana, and the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana. She is a member of the Ghana Bar Association and the International Society of Pharmacovigilance, and an individual member of the International Pharmaceutical Federation, that's FIP. Today, Dr. Iseku is presenting the keynote address for this Maiden White Coat ceremony on the theme, Expanding the Frontiers, Removing Barriers in Providing Quality Pharmaceutical Care. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Yvonne Iseku to deliver this keynote address. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Professor Chair, I had also tried to prepare the protocols, but I will also beg for you to allow me to stand on those that have already been established. And I thank you for the honor done me by asking me to speak on this very important subject, on this very important occasion, the Maiden White Coat ceremony for the University of Competitive Choice. The White Coat ceremony symbolizes the migration from the sciences, pure and applied, to the field of practice, albeit under the direct and constant supervision of a registered pharmacist who is soon to become a senior colleague. It provides an opportunity for the university community, and indeed the whole world, to acknowledge that having gone through a rigorous academic training as pharmacy students, these young people assembled here are ready to make an impact on the health of community members in their roles as student pharmacists. After this ceremony, these young men and women will proudly don their white coats to meet other healthcare practitioners, as well as their clients and patients. Donning these white coats will continue throughout their professional lives as pharmacists as they complete their training and are admitted into the fraternity as colleagues to their seniors and peers. As they transition from pharmacy students into full-fledged pharmacists to take their places in the world of healthcare delivery, a number of questions arise. What will be the expectations of their colleague healthcare professionals? What will be the expectations of their patients and clients? Indeed, what will be the expectations they have of themselves during these encounters with their patients and clients and throughout their professional lives? Will they be seen as practitioners who provide services from the so-called pinholes? Or will they be more contemporary and engage their patients and clients in the pharmacy and indeed on the ward and at the policy level? Or will they go even further? Will they confidently and competently review the folders of their patients and make relevant input into their care? Will they provide pharmaceutical information to other healthcare professionals routinely? Indeed, when other healthcare professionals need information about all medicines, will these young men and women be their go-to sources? Will they counsel their patients when they are being discharged to ensure appropriate use of medicines? Will they take time with their caregivers, the caregivers of their patients, to assure understanding of the use of the medicines for their charges? Will they lead and run clinics for the management of congenital and long-term conditions? Will they contribute effectively to leadership in healthcare? Will they continuously be abreast with the trends in healthcare by acquiring and utilizing new relevant skills? Will they explore all opportunities that arise in the delivery of pharmaceutical care to improve themselves, impact healthcare, and improve patient outcomes? It is from the perspective of these and other pertinent questions, Prof. Chair, that I will attempt to discuss the theme of this ceremony: expanding the frontiers, removing barriers to providing pharmaceutical care. Professor Chairman, permit me to take a look at pharmaceutical care from the traditional to the contemporary and look at some of the barriers that impact the provision of pharmaceutical care. Following this, I would like to ask us all to dream with me into a universe where barriers are non-existent and where the frontiers are ever expanding. And then I will propose how we could attain that dream. The practice of pharmacy has come a very long way. From the days when we didn't even have eye contact with a patient to now, when we may even be going on ward rounds, depending on which facility we are working in. From when a prescription was seen as an order that had to be obeyed, to now, when a pharmacist's input may be requested even before the prescription is written. Let me share an experience I had when I was undertaking my internship, having completed my B Pharm qualification, not Pharm D. Our pioneers in clinical pharmacy then, Mrs. Esther Osei and Mrs. Joyce Adwechia, as they then were at Police Hospital, and that was where I was doing my internship. As part of the orientation at the start of the program, we were told that we would be participating in ward rounds, reviewing folders, and making presentations. We were also expected to advise medical officers if we thought there was a need for changes on prescriptions that came to the pharmacy. One day, I saw a prescription that I thought needed revision. I discussed my thoughts with my seniors and was encouraged to speak to the prescriber. And I was told to make my suggestion with decorum. When I called, introduced myself, and explained my observations and suggestions, the prescriber asked me whether I knew who he was. I found out subsequently that he was not the only one who had asked that question to pharmacists and student pharmacists, and that I was not the only one who had received that kind of treatment. I did know who he was, but in my naivete, I had assumed that since we had been introduced to the hospital community, it was understood that we were going to contribute to the management of our patients. But for this prescriber, the call had seemed like putting a question on his competence. He probably thought that if he conceded, it would lead to a lowering of his regard in mine and the eyes of other pharmacists. He may even have wondered how the patient would perceive him if he were to change the prescription. In time, with more and more engagement from our senior colleagues and advocacy, which further demonstrated the competencies of pharmacists and pharmacy students, these periodic calls became expected. Prescribers became more open to receiving suggestions, and patient outcomes were improved. I believe, however, that the thoughts and concerns that I have suggested with respect to our prescriber and others like him, all these concerns are indeed genuine. And when they arise, they create barriers to the provision of pharmaceutical care. Nowadays, the contribution of pharmacists to patient management is not questioned in principle. However, there are major challenges to the implementation of this principle, and the extent to which pharmacists can contribute is sometimes challenged. Professor Chair, I'll give a few examples. Although the review of prescriptions by pharmacists is not questioned in almost any healthcare setting in Ghana, the suggestions by pharmacists are not usually taken. Indeed, when pharmacies record an uptake of 10% or thereabout of suggestions taken up by prescribers, they deem it a great success. Again, most facilities have so few pharmacists that this practice of prescription review may not even be carried out on most prescriptions. A pharmacist routinely participating in ward rounds is not frowned upon. However, this is not generally regarded as part of the schedule of the pharmacist or as part of their core mandate. The result of this perception is that pharmacists are expected to participate in these critical activities after taking care of dispensing activities. In the community, pharmacists are mandated to manage simple ailments of common occurrence. However, a patient who is referred to a hospital from a community pharmacy after initial steps have been taken will not be regarded as having been treated, as having received any treatment at all. And community members are aware of this. They know they will have to go through the whole hospital process all over again. This results in community members, after receiving some care from community pharmacies, waiting to the very last minute before going to the referred facility, undermining the provision of pharmaceutical care and worsening patient outcomes. The barriers to the delivery of pharmaceutical care, Prof. Chair, ladies and gentlemen, may be personal, economic, or political. At the personal level, the pharmacist must have interest in the area of practice opted for. At this time in Ghana, we have 5 broad areas of practice of pharmacy, all of which are represented by practice groups in the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana. The areas are hospital practice, community, manufacturing, ethical representation, and education. It is important for the pharmacist to identify the area through which he or she can best provide pharmaceutical service, bearing in mind his or her strengths, challenges, and interests. Now that the pharmacist has settled on their area of interest, there is the need to acquire relevant competencies. Whereas your training in the University of Competitive Choice, has equipped you to provide primary level pharmaceutical service. In order to provide pharmaceutical care as a specialist or a consultant, there is the need for each of our young men and women here afterwards to pursue specialist training. Such competencies that may be acquired in specialist training may be acquired over several years of experience in a particular area or through specialist training in an institution such as the Ghana College of Pharmacists. In recent times, though, employers tend to value the specialist training over the years of practice. This is because the training is standardized and ensures that the pharmacist acquires all the needed competencies. Young pharmacists must therefore start to chart their paths early in their career to benefit from such training and to be able to provide specialist pharmaceutical care as the need arises within their area of interest. Socioeconomic factors are complex. Permit me to create one scenario. A young pharmacist is the oldest of 6 children of the parents. After induction, that is not after this one, after the next one, the pharmacist gets married and quickly starts a family while working in a private hospital as deputy head of the pharmacy unit. The hospital will support staff with steady leave for their specialist training, but with part-time pay after 4 years of employment. Having had children early on, our pharmacist decides to start specialization after 5 years of employment. In the 4th year, both parents die in an accident. And our dear pharmacist has the burden of establishing the younger siblings in life. We could add more confounding factors to muddy the waters a bit more, but I'm sure you understand some of the challenges that young pharmacists face in their quest to improve themselves and contribute effectively to pharmaceutical care delivery when they have to incur huge costs to pursue such specialization. On the political front, pharmacists face several challenges. An attempt to contribute more to patient care management may be seen as an attempt at taking over the responsibilities of other cadres of healthcare professionals. Although pharmacists may be seeking to bridge gaps in healthcare, these efforts may be seen as taking advantage of opportunities for making money rather than contributing to improved health outcomes. These perceptions result in major attempts at pushback, which result in significant challenges to effectively provide pharmaceutical care. In addition, although the career progression for other healthcare professionals following specialization is clear, there is no clear progression plan for pharmacists in private facilities. The private sector, however, in Ghana, employs about 70% of pharmacists. So this is a very big challenge. Professor Chair, ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that all these barriers hinder the provision of pharmaceutical care. But come, dream with me. Let us imagine this. By the time a pharmacist completes one of or all of our young men and women complete their training, or very shortly thereafter, perhaps within a year of completion, she has been exposed to all possible areas of practice, and she's quite settled in the area of practice. She'll be able to most effectively contribute to the delivery of pharmaceutical service. At the time of starting work, the pharmacist is made aware of a clear progression plan, including the training opportunities available. She's also informed that at the time of specialist training, her training will be fully funded. And so long as she completes within the scheduled time, her position will be waiting for her when she comes back. And her promotional interviews will be conducted as soon as her certification is confirmed. Another pharmacist, having evaluated the experience and skills acquired after some years of practice, perceives an opportunity to change the focus of practice and move from the hospital compounding unit into a pharmaceutical company. The new position is to help design molecules based on developments in pharmacogenomics. He will be able to use his competencies in compounding for individualized care plans in this area. Yet another pharmacist is pursuing a program that will allow her to respond to the specific needs of her community members. And she knows that there is a seamless system to ensure that her clients receive the care they need in the hospital without delays, and she will receive appropriate feedback to enable her continue the care. A professor of pharmacy practice from the University of Competitive Choice has chosen to foray into hospital practice. With a clear understanding of the levels of practice, he is able to move into the position of head of pharmacy in a well-established hospital. But this universe is not unattainable, Professor Chair. May I propose, sir, that the road to get us there is not very complicated. However, it is not an easy road. We must take our places where we are best able to provide pharmaceutical care. We must choose excellence in everything we do. That way, we will always give our best, and we will be ever shining lights in the provision of pharmaceutical care. We must take every opportunity afforded us to build on our knowledge and skills. This will ensure that we are always on top of our game. We must take every opportunity to share our knowledge and provide the skills when called upon. This will show everyone how critical we are to the health of the population. We must engage policymakers, our colleague healthcare professionals, and our patients and clients. They must know what we have to offer. They must benefit from our knowledge and skills. This way, Whenever healthcare is mentioned, pharmaceutical care and the pharmacist will also be mentioned. I will therefore, Professor Chair, with your indulgence, charge our young student pharmacist here today. Take every opportunity afforded you, every time. Stand up and be counted every single time. And I believe that when we meet again, we will see that we are indeed expanding the frontiers and steadily removing barriers to the provision of pharmaceutical care. Thank you.
We can do it better. Please, you can do it better. We have to seize every opportunity to build on knowledge and sharpen our skills. Thank you very much, our keynote speaker, Dr. Yvonne Rinchua-Eseku Esquire. We shall now have a musical interlude from Reddick Sax. Thank you very much, Tvucc. And please note that he is an alumnus of the University of Competitive Choice. You can do it better for him. Please be reminded that we are live on TVUCC. We are on YouTube, on Facebook as well. The moment that we've all waited for is here. But before then, we are going to acknowledge some of our sponsors. We have Mosme Pharmacy, Ozon's Pharmacy, Regben Family Pharmacy, and Sankotex Pharmacy. Let us also acknowledge Copea Pharmacy, Nat and Sons Pharmacy. We have Union Square Pharmacy, Ashgen Pharmacy Limited. We have Amadis Pharmacy Limited, Pharma Trust Limited. We also have Biomed Pharmacy, Cape Hill Pharmacy Limited, Kensway Pharmacy, Busi, as well as TVUCC, the channel of choice, and ATL FM, 100.5 megahertz, the soul of the coast. As I indicated earlier, the reason why we've all gathered here is now. Shall we, with a hand of applause, invite the faculty officer of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences and the person of Mrs. Esther Bema to come and do as the others. Please, you can do it better even as she comes out. Esther Bema.
Prof. Chair, the Vice Chancellor, please permit me to stand on already existing protocols. A total of 122 students belonging to class of 2025 and 2026 will be robed this morning. To do the robing will be individuals who are directly involved in the training of these students to become pharmacists. The first batch of robers are Dr. Adelaide Ampofu Isiama, Dr. Quincy Pratt-Humford, Mrs. Mary Ann Acha, Dr. Solomon Texan, Ms. Akosia Dufie Ankoma, Dr. Isaac Yao Atta, Dr. Barbara Edubrimpon, Dr. Richard Anandazi, and Dr. Esther Ishan Okon. Now the students. Abesi Letitia, Adoy Emmanuel, Abloti Genevieve, Edubroni Desmond, Ahiawozi Ethel, AJ Andrew, Amamo Eshan, Akuri Wisdom, and Amankwa Ellen. Robert, you may now robe your student. You may take your seat, students. Ameyo Samuela, Apia Festus, Ampem da Costephilia, Apolli Emmanuel Kwame, Amokwando Mami Esi, Ewa Kingsley, Ama Louisa, Boaten Frederick, Asamoah Philippa. Robert, you may robe your student. You may resume your seat. But Plange Annie Barbara, Boaten Godfred, Boaten Equia Isiedua, Boaten Kofi Esimedu, Boaten Dorcas, Dankwa Kenneth, Brown Cindy, Deku Kwesi, Darko Sandra. You may robe your students. You may resume your seat. Do Bache Enyanam, Do Du David, Gate Kezia, Donk Originald, Langma Luna Lani, Jamina Abuaji, Mafu Akosia, EDU-BUANDOH Emmanuel, Nakote Delina. You may resume your seat. The last batch of students to be robed by the first batch of robers are Enin Clementina, Agwe Gideon, Anak Jennifer, Ejekum Joshua, Apau Abigail, Amayel Emmanuel, Ashite Emanuela, Echampon Samuel, Ashley Gifty Na Ashede. Please robe your student. Students, you may resume your seat. Thank you very much. First batch of robers, please resume your seat.
I wanna come home to roses and that's a little notes on
The second batch of robers are Dr. Patience Otibuaten, Dr. Henry Bobson Opoku, Dr. Philippa Aheto, Dr. Nicholas Odami Kumi, Ms. Amma Kosa, Mr. Emmanuel Adakudugu, Ms. Dorothy Dodu, Dr. Daniel Obin Mensah, and Ms. Constance Caroline Kobo.
Gets out a car and opens the door. I want no slow dance in the living room like re-rating senior prom and grow old with someone who makes me feel young. I need a man who loves
the students,
me like
Bar Princess, Amwa Jojo, besides Bridget, Amon Bright, Chide Doom Victory, Amon Jemfi Pius, Kofi Manuela Akosua Merekua, Anan Obed, Danson Stella.
I want to road trips in the summers. I wanna make fun of each other. I wanna rock out to Billy Joe and flip pockets off when they call us old. You like sitting Bernardino and let me be the scrap winner. And when my body changes shape, you so my God, you look hot today. I need a man who's patient and kind. Close the door. I wanna slow dance in the living room light. Everything that's in your prom and grow old with someone who makes me feel young. I need a man who loves me like Father loves me.
Please resume your seat. Degli Priscilla, Apia Bernard, Do Christabel, Asma Joseph,
Could not
Johnny, Nancy, Anna Nana, Ejriba Texan, Mami Araba, Bane Jan Nana, Eskin Anastat, Antonasia
I
Dama.
know the meaning of true love. And I know the everlasting arms. If I can see it, then
Please
I
robe your
can
students.
do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through the open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly.
Please resume your seat.
Was the verge of
Corsa Clara,
breaking down.
Bonsu Steven, Kwache Presla, Back
Sometimes
Roland,
I
Ofi Georgina,
can be so loud.
Ewe Enoch, Mensa Constance,
There
Brown
are
Elijah,
miracles in
Neakume
life I
Meno Eunice.
must achieve. But first I know inside of me, if I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can
Please rub your
fly.
students.
I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through the open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Wise man, wise man, wise man.
Resume your seat.
me up, hold me down, keep me close,
Kindly resume your seat.
safe and sound.
Tata Hilda, Owusu Akwesi Redu,
Lift me up,
Ugu Chizoba Antonia, Pepra Emmanuel Riafi,
me down,
Yahuza Nana Fati, Yankee Tracy,
keep
Sam
me
Denzel Onel
close,
Micah, Yani
safe
Queenie Ifua, Onyando
and
Samuel Odate.
burning in a hopeless dream. Hold me when you go to sleep. Keep me the warmth of your love when you depart. Keep me safe, safe and sound. Burning in a hopeless dream. Hold me when you go to sleep.
Please rub your students.
Keep me the warmth of your love when you depart. Keep me safe, safe and sound. Lift me up, hold me down, keep me close, safe and sound. Burning in a wordless heat. Take some time and stay with me. Keep me the strength of your arms. Keep me safe,
Please resume your seat.
safe and sound.
Prof. Chair, the Vice Chancellor,
Lift
the
me
last
up,
batch of students to be robed are Yeboah Esther, Twane Prosper, Yeboah Sylvestina, Chubesi Richard Daku, Yeboah Joseph.
safe and sound. Lift me up, hold me down, keep me close, safe.
Please rub your students.
I love you, Lord, for your mercy never failed me. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment I wake up,
Please resume your seats.
I still
Thank you very
in
much,
my
Robert. You may
head.
take your seats.
I will sing of the
Thank you.
goodness of God. I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me. All my days.
Thank you very much. We can do it better. A round of applause to congratulate our clinical students, 2025 and 2026 year groups. Congratulations once again. We are privileged to have the Registrar of the Pharmacy Council in the person of Dr. Daniel Aminin Dankwa to deliver a speech for us. Please, let's do it even as he comes up.
Thank you, Professor Vice Chancellor,
former Vice Chancellor, provosts of the college, deans from sister universities, distinguished invited guest keynote speaker, lecturers, students, parents, guardians, ladies and gentlemen. I'm indeed honored today, and with your permission, Vice Chancellor, let me share this experience. Indeed, academia is the best place to learn humility. And I want the students to note. Let me tell you this story. Over the years, I have been working with Professor Martin Zeko as consultants for Ghana Tertiary Education Commission as pharmacy program accreditors. And we've been visiting schools, and the procedure, how it is done, you know, it's like a boss has come and everybody is running around. Then come a time, UCC also present a program. And so now Martin Zeko have to sit down for us to accredit his program. What a fantastic world. So I want students who are entering their experiential years to note that there is a lot to learn, and humility pays. Mr. Chairman, once again, I'm honored and pleased to be here to witness the Maiden white coat ceremony of the first and second batch of Doctor of Pharmacy students of the University of Competitive Choice. Prof. Chair, I congratulate all 5th and 4th year students for coming this far. The journey has not been easy, I know. The founders of this prestigious university have the vision to change the mindset of students who complete their respective programs in this university. At UCC School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, you will be given the right tuition and the soft skills to prepare you for life. I therefore challenge all students to avail themselves to the behaviors, attitudes, and cultures of UCC, and your mentors shall offer you during the clinical years of your program. Dear pharmacy student, as you leave the typical classroom of this great university to the experiential training site, I challenge you all to pay attention to the following 6 soft skills in all your endeavors. 1, the time manager. Personal excellence, rising to the highest potential. Watch your time. Watch your time. 2, engage leadership. Become the leader people want to follow. 3, the communicator. Communicate to be heard, not disturb others. 4, the solution thinker. Focus on the solution, not the problem. Focus on the solution, not the problem. In recent past, we've had the unfortunate event of Doctor of Pharmacy house officers going into the media to focus on the problem, not the solution. 5, teamwork. You can't do it all. You can't do it alone. So you need to work in teams. And finally, the change maker. Small action lead to big results. And so take a step. Prof. Chair, to conclude, I leave the students with the following success equation.
your mindset plus appropriate action will give you success. May the Lord strengthen and bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We shall now call on the Registrar of the Pharmacy Council to help with the administration of oath. Please, a round of applause, even as he comes up. Yeah, that's it.
Prof. Chair, with your permission, shall all students of the 5th year and 6th year be up on their feet and keep standing as we administer the clinical oath. It's on page 18 of the brochure. When I say I, you mention your name and then we continue. So we begin. I will conduct myself so that as a student of UCC, School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, and as a future pharmacist, I pledge to forge a relationship of trust and respect within our community by demonstrating empathy without judgment or discrimination. I will uphold the highest professional standards and achieve optimal patient-centered care through lifelong education and adaptation to innovation. I will promote the development of the pharmacy profession by actively participating in the ever-changing field of healthcare through community stewardship and the responsible use of current and future knowledge. I will provide respectful, quality service in the best interest of each individual. I will establish a high level of integrity, ethics, and moral principles to advocate for the advancement of pharmacy. I shall devote myself to the practice of pharmacy through outstanding leadership, honesty, and compassion, while maintaining my authenticity. May the white coat I don today remind me of the promises I have made and my duty to advance the pharmacy profession. So help me God. Thank you.
and God will help all of you. Can please resume your seat. We now call on Farm Dr. Samuel Kodonko to deliver a speech. He is the president of the PSGH. Farm Dr. Samuel Kodonko. Please a round of applause even as he comes up.
Thank you. My Vice Chancellor, my pharmacist, Professor Johnson Bwampong. Indeed, all pharmacists in the country will say, Ayuko, we're very proud of you for rising to this level of being the Vice Chancellor of the University of Competitive Choice. As done by my predecessors who were here, kindly permit me, Professor, Pharmacist, Vice Chancellor, to stand on all existing protocols established. Indeed, it's a great day for me to be here. A great honor indeed for me to be invited to be here. I bring you greetings from all pharmacists in the country at this present moment. I know pharmacists are ably represented. The Central Regional Branch of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana are all here. So all pharmacists in Central Region who are in the house, please give me a wave. Yes, fully represented. So that's quite an excitement to see my people here. Let me ask you a question. Are you proud to have chosen the profession pharmacy? I'm not hearing you well. Are you proud to have chosen the profession pharmacy? Yes. That is good. So give an applause. Clap for yourself. I still remember my days when I had to make a tough decision to either to read pharmacy, medicine, or engineering. Then finally, when I had to settle to read pharmacy, a lot of people said, why? Why not medicine? Especially when finally I said no electrical engineering. But I knew I had made a good choice, and that choice was pharmacy. And therefore, I can assure you, you have made a good choice for choosing the profession pharmacy. Yes. When I was assigned a topic to come and speak on the frontiers of pharmacy, your PharmD, your role, but I was assigned to speak on ethics. So I have to limit myself to the ethics of the profession that you are getting into. I think coincidentally, that was the same topic I spoke on when I was in KNUSC a few weeks back. But when I delivered a speech, I realized at the end of it all, the students were more intrigued by the various scenarios and case studies I put forward. So I have my speech here. I'll make it available for the dean to share with you. That has lots of English. But from what I heard this morning, that AI is now authentic interaction. I want to have an authentic interaction with you. So it's going to be an AI session. And therefore, I wouldn't go by my speech. But to start and touch on what this whole issue about ethics is, it should be important to you. You are getting into a profession. And you must know that the foundation of trust is built on ethics. For your other colleagues to trust you is built on ethics. For other healthcare workers to trust you in the team is going to be built on ethics, how ethical you are. And finally, those patients you are going to serve, for them to trust you, will also depend on how ethical you are in your practice. So ethics is the foundation of trust that you build amongst yourselves, across your colleagues, healthcare workers, and even your patients. And always remember the theory of ethics. I remember when I was doing my executive MBA, there was a full course ethics, a full program. But all the theories about ethics, when you go through them, will be built on two things. The first one, they will talk about beneficence. It says that, do good. Let your patient be your ultimate responsibility. The welfare of your patient must be ultimate. And that's exactly what you must always remember. And our motto at Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana simply stated this way: Amicus Humanis Generis, friends of the human race. And therefore, you must always remember the ultimate thing is your patient. Everything you do, it should be your patient. Then another one it hinges on is what they call non-malfeasance. It says that do no harm. Do no harm. So you want to do good, but still make sure that you don't harm. And that is very critical and very important. If you keep this at the back of your mind, that all ethical principles would rest on these two, it will help you a lot. Everything you do in your practice, find out, am I going to harm? Even in your choice of medications, even in the various interventions you do, always remember, is it the best therapeutic, are we going to get the best therapeutic outcome for this patient? Is this particular medication going to result in the minimal harm amongst all the medicines? Because you do not want to give your patient medicines at the end of the day to harm them. And a practical example, you are in a pharmacy, a patient walks in, and you see clear that he's taking maybe diclofenac 200 milligram a day, 100 milligram morning, evening. He tells you that is what works for me. I'm a construction worker, and you are happily giving it because you are making sales. You are causing harm because the maximum is 150 milligram per day. That patient will take it and at the end of the day get chronic kidney failure and end up in dialysis. You watch this, you supervise it, and you show to him. That is causing harm. These are the kind of things that we would want you to know, that even in your choice of medication, therapeutic intervention, ensure that you do not cause much harm to your patient. But there are virtues, or there are things that you must also develop as pharmacists, which hinges on the same topic of ethics. One of them, and maybe you can put it in the form of acronym, let's say, I call it HIT, H-I-T. The H simply means honesty. I means integrity. The T is transparency. These three, the HIT philosophy, is what you should carry anywhere when it comes to ethics. Are you being honest? Are you exhibiting integrity? And are you being transparent in whatever you do? If you carry these three things, it will guide you. You would practice your profession and be ethically sound and be able to conform to a lot of ethical issues. This notwithstanding, there's a great issue that we always talk about, and we call it ethical dilemmas, where you'd always be torn between 50-50. You have to make decisions. Every healthcare professional is faced with that at the point in time. These are the scenarios I pointed out in KNUST, and when I threw it out to the students, I deliberately refused not to provide answers as to what they would do. And a lot of them came back asking me, so why this one, what do you do? This one, what do you do in this situation? I said, yeah, I want you to think, because there are ethical dilemmas that you are going to be faced with. So let's start and look at some of the ethical dilemmas you would face in your profession. One, an area of patient confidentiality. Patients are with you, you have information about patient, yet relatives want to know, but the patient, you are supposed to keep this information to yourself. Sometimes your other colleagues who even know the patient will reach out to you. I have this person who is there thinking, no, I'm a pharmacist, so when I come to you, you have to give every information about that particular patient. Please, that borders on ethics. Respect your patient and their patient confidentiality. Even when a patient is with a mom or is with a parent and it's an adult, kind of respect his confidentiality and treat him as such. Information should only be given on need basis because that particular patient needs support for maybe the parent or someone else. That is why you are giving information in order to provide support. So let's respect our patient confidentiality in whatever we do. And I said that dilemmas because some situations will come that you would want to give information out. And I always remember when my old man was sick and I took him to hospital. He was seeing the consultant and was asking questions and I was trying to intervene. And at the point in time, the doctor walked me out. That's the consultant urologist. And when I came back and asked what happened, he said, no, you don't need to know. The man was almost 92 years, so I thought that, yes, I'm making the decision, I'm buying the medicines. But I was told no. And what happened was that the prescription was given and he just had to we have to follow medications. So this is the reality on the ground. You don't need the information if you are not a patient. Another area that is key, where you would also have the conflict, where you would also have a dilemma is conflict of interest. Conflict of interest. And let me give you a practical case that happened in the United Kingdom, where the pharmacist was suspended and it was published in the Royal Pharmaceutical Society of Great Britain journal. This was a pharmacist, a lady pharmacist who got into a relationship with a client who picks the medication from the pharmacy. All the medications are signed, I think, on the NHI system. That is where I picked the medication. And there was a relationship. Eventually got to a point the lady pharmacist dumped the gentleman, or the relationship ended. The man reported the case to the Royal Pharmaceutical Society of Great Britain. When they went into the case, the pharmacist had to be suspended because to them, there was a conflict of interest. The moment they entered into a relationship, and at the same time this patient was taking medication from the pharmacy, they found that it was not proper and professional for him to have continued. You ask, what could this lady pharmacist or pharmacist have done? Just refer that patient to another pharmacy. That please, your medications and others, go here because I do not want to have conflict of interest. These are clear things that we say that these are the dilemmas that you may be facing in your profession. But the license was suspended. Now, let's get into more practical cases. One will say, okay, do no harm. A patient walks into your pharmacy, having acute asthma, but you want to give him Ventolin. But you check that your Ventolin or your salbutamol inhaler is expired. Here you are faced with the situation, but going to the next hospital, something could happen, the situation is quite acute, and says, I need an inhaler. When you pick them, it's expired, you say that, okay, let me help the patient because I'm going to save the patient life. You sell the drug to the patient and tell them that the product is expired, but I can help you. Patient takes the medication, gets well, but after recovery says that, okay, after recovery, realizes that he has some allergic reactions. Or he developed some reactions and felt that it was the expired product you sold to him and reports you. You go through the disciplinary procedure, what would you do? You were doing good to help this patient. You saved his life, but you could be suspended from your practice for giving out an expired product, isn't it? Yes. Because in the first place, you are not supposed to have given out, even though you did it to help. The question comes, what do you do in a situation like that? The answer is simple. In ethical dilemmas, seek informed consent from your patient. Let the patient know clearly that this is the situation and you have to sign if you want to use it. But make sure you don't benefit from it, so don't sell the product. The mistake that the other pharmacist did was that he knew it was expired, still wanted to make money out of the patient. So in that situation, you can say that it is what? You did good. You were thinking of no more feasance, but you were doing what? Beneficence. By doing good to save the patient's life. He was his interest, nothing at all. So these are some of the ethical dilemmas you will face. But now some of you will end up in an industry, a factory, quality assurance manager, and a product that a batch may cost you maybe $200,000 has been produced. But when you run the assay, the product was 99.8 or 99.1. But the reality on that guy that the BP says that it must be 99.5, and you had 99.1. The production manager comes to you, the CEO comes to you, the batch is $200,000, workers will be laid off. It's going to cost this company, we are going to go down. Do no harm. At the same, what do? The interest of your patient is paramount. But people are going to go home. So are you going to say that if I just change the document and pass it, this patient, I'm going to do what? Do good for my staff. I'm going to do good for my company. As a result of that, pass it. These are ethical dilemmas you could face as a quality assurance pharmacist. But if you remember that patient who is going to take the medication as your ultimate, as the one that case, you would not sign it on. If you are pushed, you would have to resign to say that I won't do it as a quality assurance manager. Find someone else to do it. That is when you know that even though you've gone to an ethical dilemma, you have responded positively. Another scenario for you become a medical representative. Some of you want to be medical representative. How many of you would want to get into the sales and marketing arena of marketing products? Let me see my hand. Good one. I was. So for many years. You have targets, you have pressure. But every medicine comes to what we call the indications. Sometimes we have what we call off-label indication. It is not documented. The evidence is not there. Research is not there. But if you go the off-label indication, you make the sales. But you don't have the evidence. Now you go to tell the doctors, but the product, even though they say it does A, B, C, D, it does E, F as well. And it's wonderful in that area. You do all that and you make the sales. You make your target. If there are bonuses, you get it. Are you being ethical? You want the sales, so you've given information that is not supposed to be given out because that is called off-label indication. You are never supposed to promote that. A typical example is one of the products used, amitriptyline or so. We all know it's an antidepressant, but people use it for all kind of things, especially the males. And you're a pharmacist and somebody walks in and it's always picking amitriptyline, and you are not bothered. You know it's a monoamine oxidase inhibitor belonging to that class and what it does. But they are using it for something else, and you are happy because it gives you sales. That is an area that you, as a pharmacist, you need to be bold enough to say that I won't give the medicine to you because it is not indicated for that. So these are the things we talk about, that you would be in the borderline. You have ethical dilemmas. But when it always happens, just ensure that that patient is the ultimate responsibility, and you want to ensure that you get the very best out of him. So colleague pharmacists, pharmacy students who become pharmacists and who intend to become pharmacists soon, and we know you've taken this bold step, and very soon it's going to be possible. Always remember all the advices you've been given. But one of the things that I would also want to stress, which I think is very key, is that in the profession, you have to take mentorship seriously. You have to learn. Is this a profession that comes like an apprenticeship? Somebody has to teach you. The lecturers have done their part. You are not transitioning into the practice area. The sciences will be giving you, but that professional who is going to teach you, demonstrate what I told you about hits with him. Be very honest even with your supervisors or those you work under. And demonstrate integrity and be very transparent. Sometimes you get out there and you think you are the fastest. You work under people and you try to do all sorts of things. And why do I say so? 2 pharmacists I know who have been sacked. All of them were in the pharmacy. One, but similar scenario, one was in Accra, one was in Kumasi. They work in a pharmacy and had a patient relationship. And they decided that they want to help these patients. So these patients, the patients are on chronic medications. They decide to order the product from the wholesaler, give the product to the patient at the wholesale price, so that the community pharmacy they are working for will not be able to get the margins or profit. To them, they are saving that patient what cost, because he's getting it at less margins. When they were found that they were fired. Why? Someone will say, but I was doing the patient good by giving the medicines to him at a better price. But you were doing harm to your proprietor. You were doing harm to the one who employed you. You've been employed to attend to patients, and that is not something you could do. These are 2 healthcare issues. One happened in Kofobia, one happened in Accra. Similar situations. Both of them got fired. Indeed, they did not report the case to the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana Discipline Committee. They also did not report to the Pharmacy Council for the pharmacists to go through that. But another area which is also key and critical is professional negligence. And this is a discipline case that happened at the Pharmacy Council. And we had to take a decision. The pharmacist's license was suspended for 3 years. Cannot practice for 3 years. Why? He registers a pharmacy, leaves the pharmacy to operate with all sorts of people in there, MCAs, nurses. Then they give an injection or something, a treatment to a young boy, and something happens, the boy passes on, unfortunately. He, the pharmacist, being the superintendent pharmacist, was charged 3 good years suspended, license suspended, and wouldn't practice. And the registrar is here. Professional negligence. You come out of school, you will register, you license a pharmacy. I am the superintendent pharmacist. You take full responsibility for everything that happens in that pharmacy. And if you're not careful, you may not be able to practice again if something bad happens, or your license will be suspended. So when it comes to ethics, I have mentioned all this, but always remember professional misconduct and professional negligence is one of the things that could also cost you. Let us all be responsible, and let us change the face of pharmacy going forward. You are joining the profession, come in with full ethical values. Let money not be the first priority. If you join pharmacy because you heard pharmacy is good, because you heard pharmacy, there's a lot of money in pharmacy. Those who believe in that always get disappointed. I must trust you. They start thinking it's money, 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 and they always end up being disappointed. I wanted to be a medical representative. I was so much in need of it. But when I was employed in the company, I was probably one of the lowest paid medical representatives. But I wanted to be there and make an impact, for people to know that I am a good medical rep. Eventually, from the lowest paid pharmacist, I got a job and I became the highest paid amongst all the medical representatives. That was a transition from lowest paid. I was using the worst of vehicles to probably the pharmacist who was a medical rep using the best of vehicles. I only wanted to make an impact. I didn't care that I was the lowest paid. Let's not put money first. Wherever you find yourself, practice excellence and make sure the profession or the practice is where you want to excel. The results will be later, will turn out to be good for you. We are here as Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana. We've given you a British National Formulary. All of you have it, and it's from the PSG. Please let it be your guide. Let it be like your Bible. And don't behave as if you know it all. Always refer. That's why we're giving it to you. When in doubt, what do? Refer. When in doubt, refer. That is the best way to also make sure that your patients get the best. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you, Professor Che, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, I'm Dr. Samuel Donko, for the advice on ethics of the profession. We also have the CEO of Ashgen Pharmacy, the CEO of Pharma Trust Pharmacy Limited, and Dr. Robert Inkum, Director of Pharmacy, CCTH. They would all come and give us pieces of advice so far as the profession that we have chosen is concerned. We want to remind you that we are live on TV UCC, YouTube, and Facebook UCC. Please, with a round of applause, shall we invite to the podium the Director of Pharmacy from the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital in the person of Dr. Robert Inkum to give us a piece of advice to the clinical students.
Good afternoon. Prof. Chair, I'll take advantage of the existing protocols and to state that I bring you greetings, Prof, from the CEO of Cape Coast Teaching Hospital, Dr. Rikofin Jedu. You would have loved to be here, but for other engagement. And has also asked me to give you this assurance that Cape Coast Teaching Hospital will continue to provide a congenial environment for the training of our pharmacists, as we've done for all the schools under the cohorts. And he also appreciates the feedback that you present, and he believes that in the spirit of collaboration, this will help us get the best out of our students. Now, to our students, you are looking very beautiful. Yes. Have you for a moment reflected on the ceremony we just had? Being ruled by your preceptors and being handed a BNF, which is a reference material, by the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana. What does that signify as part of your transition? So being in these fine white robes, even though you continue to be students, is reminding you of the gradual transition you are making into the professional space. And so you should bear that in mind. And so as you come to the teaching and the learning areas, this is how we expect you to present yourselves. It makes you professional. And what does that signify? It helps our colleague doctors, the nurses, and indeed all members of the healthcare team to have that confidence in you, that indeed what information you are providing to contribute to the healthcare delivery is genuine, is coming from a professional. And so continue in this fine manner. Then again, you have a reference material, and President of Pharmaceutical Society rightly mentioned, if in doubt, refer. So don't go and close these reference materials that you have been given. Indeed, it should become your second Bible. And so get to work and become familiar with the use of the reference material you have been given. And so you should know in the next few days that if there's issue relating to any antimicrobial and you are in doubt, you should be able to figure out which pages you should quickly flip to. And should know that maybe if you are looking at antibiotics with this edition of BNF, maybe if I start from page 530, I'm likely to see the antibiotics. And the antifungals will follow, and the antivirals will follow. And right after that, from page 700, you know that you find issues relating to diabetes treatment. And so get familiar and used to the reference materials that you have. That is what will help you to be what? Proficient in delivering pharmaceutical service. And so I'm expected to give you a brief advice And as you transit into the professional space, some young ones of old also face a danger and uncertainty as to how they will be successful in the new environment they will find themselves. But they had a father who was described as very wise. But this father, looking at how best to help the children, resorted to the only ancient book, the Bible, and got some treasures from this Bible that he believed was going to make the sons and the daughters successful. So, Prof. Chair, with your indulgence, I will ask that I read from God's Word, the Bible, from Proverbs chapter 2, verse 1 through 5. And if you have your electronic versions, you could follow through as I take the reading. Proverbs chapter 2, verse 1 through 5. It says, "My son," and I will add, "my daughters." Aren't you my sons and daughters? Now, if you are in doubt, just observe the aura around my lips, and you will agree that you are indeed my sons and daughters. "If you accept the sayings and treasure of my commandments by making your ear attentive to wisdom and inclining your heart to discernment. Moreover, if you call out for understanding and raise your voice for discernment," look at verse 4. "If you keep seeking for it as for silver, and you keep seeking for it and you keep searching for it as for hidden treasures, then what will you find? Then you will understand the fear of Jehovah," that is God's name, "and you will find the knowledge of God." So wise King Solomon believed that if the sons and daughters follow through with God's word, then they will be successful. And so for you, as I mentioned, this being your second Bible, if only you avail yourself to the tutelage and the wise counsel from the wide array of preceptors right before us. And I can say among them includes people who served as preceptors for me. And I can see Dr. Rimontete right here, a preceptor par excellence. So you have all the resources available. You have all the skills, the competence. They are consultants in their own rights. Our keynote speaker mentioned that pharmacy has evolved to a time where even before prescriptions are written by doctors, they will sometimes call the colleague pharmacists and ask and inquire to see that the writing is done. You have them here. If only you avail yourselves to their tutelage, then in a few years' time, when the senior citizens have retired, we can sleep comforted and confident that we have participated in the training of competent health professionals, competent sons and daughters who will take care of us when we retire. Thank you.
You can do it better. As you applaud, and we would call upon the CEO of Ashton Pharmacy in the person of Madam Georgina Ashley to also offer us a piece of advice. Please, let's continue doing it for even as she comes up.
Mr. Chairman, please permit me to stand on the established protocol to address these students of ours. Prof, it's an honor to be invited to deliver an address at this maiden white coat ceremony of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. And I'm very grateful to the Dean of the school and organizers for this privilege. The training of a pharmacist is now more patient-focused. And I would like you to take it very seriously and to position yourself to be able to respond to the needs of the patients and clients that will pass through your practice. Prof. Chair, in line with this advice, I'd like to share some of my experiences as a practicing pharmacist over the years. And I believe that this information will serve the students well as they embark on their clinical practice. As most of you are aware, I work at Asgen Pharmacy, a community pharmacy here in Cape Coast. And it's interesting being a community pharmacist. What I like to advise my children here is that it's not all about money. It is service to the community. It is service to mankind. And you have to be very honest, very committed, very dedicated to that call. You have to be trustworthy. You have to be credit-worthy. Because in the community pharmacy, you have all sorts of people coming to supply, and they come and they supply. They are coming for their money, and the money is not there. Please, as much as you can, try to be credit-worthy. Make sure everything is intact. If you get any supplies, your dates, maybe your invoice number, the figure, you write it down, any payments, if it's a cash, you note it. If it's check, you know the dates, the check number, everything, balancing, make sure everything is perfect. And then once in a while, maybe just get in touch with your wholesalers to give you your statement, and then you sit there and do some reconciliation. You don't have to argue over money. You have to be credit-worthy. And any time that they find out that you are very credit-worthy, they'll just come and supply. You may not have the money, but they'll give it to you because they know that you are credit-worthy. So it's very, very important. I like to say something small again, to give a small advice. My brother colleague here is here, Farm Dr. Joseph Kizzy Hayford. Way back in 2006, around 1 a.m., between 1 and 2, I was fast asleep when I had a call from the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital. They needed a medication. I told them I had it. But how do we get it? Because it's late. And I told them I'll meet them at the shop. So I drove to the shop around 1:30 a.m. When I went there was this car parked by. I really didn't think about anything. I mean, I had a free mind. I was just praying that God should take me in and out. So I opened the pharmacy. I gave them the medication. And they even wanted to take me back home. I said, I'll drive to the house. So I got home. The next morning, they came to the shop to tell me they were grateful and all that. 2 years after, 2008, towards the end of 2008, a certain gentleman came to the shop and said, Madam, I have a car I want to sell, but I just want you to have that car. He mentioned the car, Toyota 4Runner, and I said, he mentioned the figure, and I said, me, I don't have the money to buy. Don't worry, people have come, but I just want to give that car to you. It was given to me by my daughter from the States. I didn't have the money, but this man kept pressing. So I called Kizzy Hayford, Joe, Brother, let's go and have a look at the car. So we went there, he saw the car, I said, wow, this is almost brand new. Until I don't let it go. I said, I don't have the money. Then the man said, look, I have a reason to give you this car. Just let me know how much you can pay for it. I said, me? So if I decided to give you 2 CDs. He said, no problem. So I had something small on me and said, just spread it out. Anytime you are willing to pay, no problem at all. Just give me deposited checks. So I took the car home. Joe drove the car to my house. I gave him all the papers, to do the registration and everything, because I was just afraid, wanted to make sure I finished paying off before I used the car. After everything, the man came to me at the shop and said, look, do you know the reason why I decided to sell this car to you? I said, no. He said, 2 years back, you did something wonderful. Between 1 and 2 a.m., you drove to your shop. I could have been an armed robber or somebody else. I mean, I didn't come myself. I sent some guys. And you gave that medication out. That day, you saved a life. Somebody precious to me, you saved that person's life. So when my daughter brought me this car, I said, no, I have to give this car to this woman. So what I want to say is that wherever you find yourself, just put in all your energy. You have to be passionate about whatever you do. And by all means, God will reward you. It's not for nothing. It's not all about money. It is service. In conclusion, pharmacy is a very noble profession, very human-centered, and is depicted in our motto, Amicus Humanis Generis, meaning friends of the human race. I therefore urge you all to portray this motto wherever you find yourselves and be good ambassadors of the profession, holding dear to the ethics of the profession, whether in the hospital, industry, academia, regulatory, and community like I am here. Let's shine and portray to the world that indeed we are friends of the human race. To our esteemed lecturers, God bless you for your commitment and selfless dedication to the students and the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. Long live the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. Long live the University of Competitive Choice. Long live UCC. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It isn't all about money. It's about service. Why don't we give it to Madam Pharmacist Georgina Ashley for that wonderful piece of advice. We also have the CEO of PharmaTrust Pharmacy Limited and the person of Pharm Dr. Anthony Ejapon. Please come and give us your advice as you go through this profession. Please, he's walking up. Why can't we continue giving it to him, till I hand over the mic to him? Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Professor Chair, please permit me to stand on existing protocols. I think today is a special day for these students, and my advice to them will be hinged on 3 pillars. I'm going to talk about teamwork, integrity, and professionalism. What happens is that going out into the clinical practice, you are going to meet a lot of healthcare professionals. You are going to meet medical officers, you are going to meet other healthcare professionals like the nurses and the midwives. What happens is your communication with them is going to be key. And when we talk about communication, we are looking at both verbal and non-verbal communication. The second advice I want to give out there is about integrity. And my simple definition for integrity is doing the right thing when no one is watching you. The president of the Pharmaceutical Institute of Ghana, Pharm Samuel Donko, said something. He said, ethics is the foundation of every profession. And I want to add something to that. When you combine integrity and ethics, you win the trust of your patient. Let me repeat that. When you combine integrity and ethics, you win the trust of your patient. Then the last thing I'll talk about is professionalism. And for me to explain professionalism, I'll explain an encounter I had with a medical officer. In fact, he's a consultant in gynecologist for one of the teaching hospitals in Accra. And I'll not mention his name. Somewhere 2017, he happens to be a personal friend. We've been friends since 2000, and today we are friends. Somewhere 2017, he actually called me, and he's somebody that when he needs any medicine or when he has any pharmaceutical care issue, he would call me, or most often he will call me. So somewhere 2017, he called me, and he said, Tony, they've brought these students to the ward. What are they coming to do? And I asked him, Doc, what do you think they are coming to do? Then he responded by saying, for PharmD, we know it's done in US and it's done in Canada and a few other Western countries. So that is why I'm asking, what are they coming to do? Then I said, Doc, give them the benefit of the doubt. They would impress you. He took that word very seriously. So somewhere around 2021 during COVID, he called me again and we were having conversation about some PPEs. So I reminded him that, Doc, 3 years ago, you told me about some PharmD students in the ward. What are they doing? And his response was very fantastic. He said, those guys have impressed me. Those guys, when I need an alternative to a contraindicated medicine, they provide it to me on time. He didn't say they provide it to me, but he said they provide it to me on time. And in most cases, when I double check, they are right. My message to these young ones is that going out there, the information you are going to give people, they are going to confirm them. When people need information about medicines, they need it on time. And you going out there, the PharmD people, those ahead of you have raised the bar for the PharmD practice. So a lot will be expected of you. But I believe that with the training that we've got at UCC, University of Competitive Choice, you will certainly go out there and excel. Be friends of the human race and make pharmacy proud. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Pharm Dr. Anthony Ejapon. We are still live on TV UCC, YouTube, and Facebook UCC. We want to mention that Copea Pharmacy, Nat & Sons Pharmacy, Ashgen Pharmacy, and Union Square Pharmacy are some of the sponsors of this maiden white coat ceremony. We also have Pharma Trust Limited, Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, Amadis Pharmacy Limited, Cape Hill Pharmacy Limited, Biomed Pharmacy, Kingsway Pharmacy, Busi Pharmacy. We also have TVUCC, the channel of choice, and ATLFM 100.5 megahertz, the soul of the coast. Now we have some student presentations from the 2025 year group and the 2026 year group. Shall we please invite a rep from the 2025 year group to do that presentation? A round of applause, please, as he comes up.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Distinguished Chairman, the Vice Chancellor, the respected Dean, the Vice Dean, the faculty, honored parents, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great privilege and gratitude that I stand before you today to address this distinguished gathering. On behalf of the entire Doctor of Pharmacy cohort, I extend a warm welcome and heartfelt appreciation to each of you for gracing us with your presence. Since our inception in 2019, we, the pioneering cohort of the Doctor of Pharmacy program at UCC, have embarked on a transformative journey. From our initial excitement mixed with nervousness in our first lecture to this very moment, standing on the threshold of our clinical years, we have traversed a path filled with challenges and triumphs. Throughout our preclinical journey, we've undergone a profound transformation, evolving not only our intellect, but also in our capabilities and perspectives. Whether it was facing the consequences of tardiness, shedding tears over pharmacology quiz scores, or moments of confusion when we glanced at our classmates' expressions to gauge our own comprehension, every trial has contributed to our growth. Today marks a significant milestone as we transition to the clinical phase of our education. As we don our white coats, let us remember the significance of this symbol, the countless hours of dedication, the lives we aspire to touch, and the difference we aim to make in the world. I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our lecturers, the staff whose guidance and dedication have been instrumental in shaping us into the student pharmacists we are today and the pharmacists we strive to become. As we move forward, let us embody the core values of our school: excellence, professionalism, innovation, and service. To my fellow classmates, let this moment ignite a fire within us, a commitment to lifelong learning, growth, and service. Together, let us support and uplift one another as we strive for greatness and leave a lasting impact on the world. Thank you very much. So, with permission, we would like to make presentations to, first of all, I'll call upon Louisa.
So this citation goes to our Honorable Vice Chancellor in the person of Professor Johnson Nyakumpampon. Sir, with heartfelt appreciation, we extend our deepest gratitude to you, our esteemed Vice Chancellor. Your exceptional leadership and unwavering support have guided us through our academic journey, shaping our education and fostering excellence. Your commitment to promoting inclusivity and cultivating a supportive environment has united us as a class and enriched our learning experience. And for this, we say, Ayuko.
So the next presentation will be to the Department of Pharmacy, Cape Coast Teaching Hospital. So recall upon the Director of Pharmacy of CCTH. With profound gratitude, the Pioneer class extends heartfelt appreciation to you for your dedication and expertise. Thank you for your unwavering support and commitment to excellence. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We are most grateful. The next set of citation goes to our very own Dean in the person of Professor Elvis Ofori Ameya. We are most grateful to you, our able Dean. God bless you. The next award goes to our Vice Dean in the person of Dr. Ernest Obisi. Thank you so much, sir, for your support and your care. God bless you. The next set of citation goes to the faculty of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. So we invite the faculty officer in the person of Mrs. Esther Biamanimo. Thank you very much. The next set goes to the Department of Pharmacotherapeutics and Pharmacy Practice. So we invite with a round of applause the head of department in the person of Dr. Robert Kitabaini. Thank you so much. So please, the next goes to the Department of Pharmacognosy and Herbal Medicine. So please, with a round of applause, help me invite the HOD in the presence of Dr. Kwesi Frank Tomford. The next set goes to the Department of Pharmaceutical Microbiology. And with a round of applause, please let's invite the HOD, the person of Dr. Toby Hene. The next goes to the Department of Pharmaceutics. And we invite the HOD in the presence of Dr. And the last, goes to the Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry. Pharmaceutical Chemistry. Thank you so much for your support, for being a guide to us throughout our journey, and still you are, and we know you forever be. God bless you so much, and we are forever grateful.
Thank you very much, 2025 year group. We also invite the 2026 year group to come and do their presentations. Prof. Chair, all protocols observed. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to share the journey until now with you all. As we gather here today, let's look back at the path we have walked together. Today, I am here to tell the journey so far and to summarize the experience of every member of the class of 26. We summarize our journey so far in one word: bittersweet. It all began when we applied to join the prestigious university, took SPAT exams, and had interviews. Finally, we got accepted and started our journey here. Entering the university made us freshers. We are excited to be here. We went through the motions, got matriculated, and then settled in. We were eager to start classes. but looking back, we realized we should have taken it easy and enjoyed our breaks. We can say level 100 was pretty good. We handled it well since some subjects were familiar, but it was still tough. Each of us had our own struggles, enough to make us shed tears. We remember consoling ourselves after tough quizzes and exams, walking back to our hall of residence. Looking back, we laugh at these moments and know that we have grown and learned. Level 200 hit us hard. Both semesters were tough, and we are still feeling the impact. It taught us to always be prepared for the worst and never let our guards down. We realized level 100 was the least pressured level we could ever have in pharmacy school. We did not see the shift coming. We had more intense classes in level 200, met new lectures and faced challenges we didn't expect. 300 level, we are finding our balance. Gradually down the lane, we are now in level 400, and we think that we have found our feet. Or are we sounding complacent? We know SOPs will never make us sound complacent. Well, whatever the case is, we can't compare now to the early beginnings of level 200. Today, we are celebrating our entry into the clinical phase of pharmacy training. It is a big moment for us. Marking our growth and resilience over the past few years, we are grateful for everyone who have supported us, especially our lecturers, who have helped us grow personally and professionally. They say pharmacy school isn't easy, but neither is the world out there. We have learned and embraced every experience, knowing it's shaping us for the future. So, we will keep trusting the process. Thank you all, and thank everyone who have been part of our journey. Thank you so much. And with that, we will see some opportunity to make some presentations to our 5 departments in our school.
A citation in honor of the Department of Pharmacotherapeutics and Pharmacy Practice. So we present this citation to Dr. Hene. Dr. Hene.
of the pharmacotherapeutics and pharmacy practice.
This one goes to the Department of Pharmaceutics. Please, we will call Mr. Adakrugu. Pharmadax, please.
This citation also goes to the Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, and I'll call Pharm Dr. Barbara.
This citation goes in honor of the Department of Pharmaceutical Microbiology, and I'll call upon Dr. Jonathan Asante. Dr. Jonathan Asante. Anyway, he's my academic counselor.
This citation is in honor of the Department of Pharmacognosy and Herbal Medicine. I'll call Dr. Daniel Anokwa.
So we want to take this singular opportunity to say a very big thank you to all the departments in the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We shall please have a presentation by the executives of the GPSA. They would come to do a presentation to the class of 2025 and the class of 2026. GPSA executives, can you please come up and then to your presentation?
Prof. Chairman, all protocols observed. I would like to thank you for your presence here in this program, the Maiden White Coat Ceremony of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, UCC. Your presence here is very much acknowledged. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of the Pharmaceutical Students Federation of Ghana President, Master Samuel Echampon. Please, if you are here, give us a wave. Okay. Also, I would like to acknowledge the presence of the Editor-in-Chief, Ms. Pearl Bosu. Could you please give us a wave? Ms. Pearl Bosu. Okay. Thank you very much. So, GPSA UCC as a student association has realized and acknowledged the effort of our pioneer students, the class of 25 and the class of 26. We therefore want to present these citations to congratulate them on being adorned on this August occasion, to be given the opportunity and to be acknowledged because of their efforts, and to usher them into their clinical years. For that reason, GPSA UCC would like to present these presentations to acknowledge their efforts. Therefore, we would like to call on the class reps of the class of 25 so that they can receive their citations. And finally, would like to call on the class reps of the class of 26 to receive their citations. Once again, thank you very much. And as a student association, we congratulate you all and wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On this note, we would want to acknowledge some important personalities in our midst. Irrespective of their very tight schedules, they have made it possible to the Maiden white coat ceremony of the School of Pharmaceutical and School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. Please, with a hand of applause, shall we acknowledge the Chief Executive Officer of the University of Competitive Choice in the person of Professor Johnson Nyaku-Bwampon for accepting to chair this occasion. Thank you very much, Prof. We are also privileged to have the Vice Chancellor in the person of Professor Mrs. Rosemont Bohene. Prof. Bohene, thank you very much for coming. We have the Director of the Directorate of Consular and General Services in the person of Mrs. Alberta Yard Graham, representing the Registrar of the University. We have Professor Dora F. EDU-BUANDOH, is the former Pro-Vice Chancellor. Thank you very much, Madam. We have Professor Amokwando, former Provost, College of Humanities and Legal Studies. We have the Provost of the College of Distance Education in the person of Professor Mohammed Anochi Adam. The Provost of COHAS in the person of Professor Martin Zeko. You can do it better, your own Provost. We have the Director of DACPA in the person of Professor Daniel Ejapon. We have Lawyer Gideon Abekwe Squad, Director, Directorate of Academic Affairs. The Director of Drake in the person of Professor David Doku. Director, Directorate of Internal Audit in the person of Mr. Emmanuel P. Osu. Farm Dr. J. Kizzy Hayford, Deputy Director, Directorate of University Health Services. We also have the Acting Director of the Directorate of Public Affairs in the person of Mr. Kwabna Inchikonedu. He is also the General Manager of CBS. Reverend Professor Kankambwedu, Dean, FOHSSE. We have the Dean of the School of Nursing UCC in the person of Professor Nancy Ebuenyan. The Dean of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences in the person of Professor Elvis Oforia-Mayo. Professor Desmond Omani Echampon, Dean, SAHS. We also have the Dean of the School of Medical Sciences in the person of Professor Sebastian Eliasson. The Vice Dean of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences in the person of Dr. Ernest Obese. We are privileged to have the College Registrar of the College of Distance Education in the person of Mr. Isaac Elliott Nyeku. College Registrar, COHAS, in the person of Mr. Eugene Hesse. Dr. Ataya Buasapon is the College Registrar for College of Education Studies. We have Mrs. Rebecca Osu, the first faculty officer of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. We are so much privileged to have the Dean of the Department of Pharmacology from the university, that is UHAS, in the person of Dr. D. Adongo. The Vice Dean from the Central University School of Pharmacy in the person of Mr. David Minta. Dr. Raymond Tete, Head of Pharmacy from the Central University School of Pharmacy. Dr. Anthony Kwame Ejapon, Pharmatrust, the MD of Pharmatrust Limited. We have the acting chief pharmacist from the Ghana Health Service in the person of Dr. Mrs. Eileen Alfred Ichampan. Dr. Justice Mensah is a senior research fellow from DACPA UCC. From GIMPA, we have Mr. Richard Dako, head of pharmacy, Ghana Health Service, in the person of Dr. Philip Tete Akwesi. We also have the acting regional director of health in the person of Dr. Agnes Echiama Anani. Dr. Robert Inkum is a director, Pharma Trust, Cape Coast Teaching Hospital. The president, PSGH, Dr. Samuel Kodonko. We have Dr. Yvonne Jirenchua Eseku Esquire, rector, Ghana College of Pharmacists. Registrar from the Pharmacy Council in the person of Dr. Daniel Aminin Dankwa. Farm Dr. Abna Isia Donko, PSGH Central Region Chair. The Regional Director of Pharmacy Council in the person of Ishmael Damwa Afari. We also have the Director of Ashgen Pharmacy in the person of pharmacist Georgina Ashley. We acknowledge the CEO of Pharma Trust Pharmacy in the person of Dr. Anthony Ejapon. We continue to acknowledge the GPSA UCC President in the person of Mauli Kwame Zeda. Mr. Kwabna Nimako, Vice Chair, PSGH Central Region. We also have an FDA representing the CEO in the person of Mr. J.C. Ochery, and FDA representative representing the regional head, Central Region, in the person of Mr. Benjamin A.F.O2. We duly recognize and acknowledge all heads of department of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. Please, a wave would do. We acknowledge you, your efforts, everything that you've put into it, we so much acknowledge. All faculty and staff of COHAS, staff, faculty members, COHAS. All senior assistant registrars and assistant registrars present. We acknowledge all of you, and we are so much privileged. Can't you see that everything went on beautifully? They have done so well. As for this applause, it has to be big, bigger, biggest for the chair and planning committee of the Maiden White Coat ceremony. They have really done well. Please continue clapping for the chair and all the organizing members and all the committee members, their efforts, their tireless, sleepless nights, and all other things that they put into it to make sure that today's occasion has become so colorful. Can we say Aiko to them? Aiko. The program is coming to a successful close, and we would want to invite our chairman and the person of Professor Johnson Nyakubuampan, the CEO of the University of Competitive Choice, to give us his closing remarks.
Thank you, MC. We've come to the end of the program, and we have been here for a very long time. I cannot summarize all the things that have been said over here, but I will just mention take-home message. First, from the speaker, the guest speaker today. He actually educated the students who are moving from the pre-clinical stage to the clinical stage. That much is expected of them, especially from their supervisors, from their clients, and even from their own colleagues. And in the hospitals that you may find yourself, you are expected to review prescriptions by going through the folders of your clients. You need to provide information on medicines and also provide leadership in the hospital, among others. He took us through the pharmaceutical practice journey in Ghana. At a time in the history of Ghana, when you go to the hospital, they show you, go to that window, and you find a pharmacist in that small window. Now, pharmacists are not in that small window. We are everywhere, even on the bedside of the clients. And then we have also made ourselves relevant to the extent that even the prescribers who want to consult us before they do their prescriptions. Community pharmacy, when you come to the community pharmacists are there providing pharmaceutical care. And then he also enlightened us on areas of pharmaceutical practice. One is a hospital, community, industry, or manufacturing. We also have regulations, pharmacy council. We have education and research, and also advocacy. But she said that that is not the end. After your Doctor of Pharmacy program, you can also do your specialist training. And when you do your specialist training, there will be a job for you in the various hospitals, except that probably when you come to the community pharmacy, there's no progression. But though there seems to be limitations on the practice of pharmacy in Ghana, but that should not deter you. You must move ahead. We have sociological limitations where your family is expecting much from you, even with your meager salary. Then political, where you need to lobby to make sure that pharmacists are recognized in the country. She also said that there are a lot of opportunities for you when you complete your pharmacy program. Though you may face challenges, you'll be able to overcome them when you are serious and you pursue your profession with all seriousness. And by doing all this, you will be expanding the frontiers of pharmacy practice by removing barriers in providing pharmaceutical care. That's from the rector of Ghana College of Pharmacists, in the person of Dr. Iseku. Then the registrar of Pharmacy Council also talk about your time management. They will be examining you to give you the license to practice. So take this message serious. Exhibit leadership, and you should be a communicator. You should not focus on the problems. Oh, because of the problems, we can't do anything. You should be innovative. And also focus on the solution. There should be teamwork among you. Even when you go to the hospital space and you are learning, you try to do teamwork so that whatever you learn would be reinforced. You should have the mindset with appropriate action to give you success. That's from the Registrar of Pharmacy Council. Then from Dr. Samuel Donko, the President of Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana. He actually talked about ethics as a foundation of trust, giving definition of ethics, pharmaceutical ethics. And it is aimed at doing good to your clients. And humanity is your client. Then talked about non-malfeasance, attempt to avoid any act that will harm the patient or violate the patient's trust. He also mentioned honesty, integrity, transparency, and teamwork. Then ethical dilemmas. There are many, but that depends upon you, how prepared you are to protect your profession. Avoid professional negligence. And he ended by saying that let's not put money first. In fact, most of you come to the profession after observing pharmacists in the community, in the hospital, riding in their beautiful cars. And you know, once you join the pharmacy profession, you'll be having a lot of money. That is not the matter. That is not the importance of doing pharmacy. They say that it is not about money. It is about service from the CEO of Asian Pharmacy. And in doing business, you should be careful, those of you who want to enter into community pharmacy or even in industry. Make sure that you are credit worthy, so that when people give you drugs to sell on credit, by the time they come and they are looking for you, you are not at the pharmacy facility, and they'll be looking for you. So you must always reconcile your statement from that of the wholesaler to make sure that you've paid for your drugs. CEO Dr. Anthony Japon also talked about teamwork, or taught us teamwork, integrity, and professionalism. With professionalism, you'll be respected everywhere you go. But the Dean School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, I thought you would have also presented somebody here to talk about pharmacists in education and research to give their version of how people will be able to cope with the situation in the institutions that are in pharmacies. If nothing at all, look at their lives and imitate them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Chair, Professor Johnson Nyakubuampan. We shall now call on Ms. Manuela Kofi to come and thank us. Please, she's coming, so let us give it to her. Continue applauding until she comes up to the dais.
Thank you very much, Ms. Moderator. I deem it a great honor to be called upon today to give the vote of thanks for this August occasion. I stand before you today as a proud and grateful student, a white-coated student for that matter, to express my gratitude on behalf of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences to all who have contributed to the success of this program. Our most sincere thanks goes to the big man upstairs, our Almighty God, for whom without his grace, this program wouldn't have been a success. The Maiden White Coat Ceremony, the first of many beautiful and successful ceremonies to come. We express our utmost gratitude to the principal officers of the University of Cape Coast, especially the chairperson of the occasion, Professor Johnson Nyakubuampan, the Vice Chancellor of the best university in West Africa, the University of Cape Coast, the University of Competitive Choice, who also reiterated the entire program in his last speech. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairperson. To our keynote speaker, Dr. Yvonne Iseko, we say thank you. From your address, we learned that the road to get us there is not complicated. Today, we will dare to dream into the future where barriers are non-existent because we will put structures in place to make it a reality. To the management of the University of Cape Coast, we appreciate you. To the entire community of the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital, we are grateful for your continued support whenever we reach out. To our esteemed dignitaries present, I'm sure today we can all attest to the fact that the names have been endless. So many people have graced this program, and indeed, we must say that this Maiden White Coat Ceremony is the best. You can give a round of applause to that, Our Excellency 526. To the President of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, for that lecture in pharmacology, therapeutics, and clinical practice, we say we are grateful. To all the speakers of this August occasion, we want to assure you that the wise words that you have given us has fallen on good soil and will yield abundant fruit. To the Dean, lecturers and staff of School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, what will we do without you? An event like this has not only boosted our confidence, but has left ripple effects of appreciation in our hearts and minds. To the Pharmaceutical Student Federation of Ghana, we say thank you. Your presence is always well represented. To all parents and guardians seated here today, we say Aiko. We always appreciate your consistent support. To all our sponsors who helped us in the success of this program, we say thank you and God richly bless you. Our doors are always open. If you want to give more sponsorship, we'll gladly take it. To my colleagues, the class of RX24 and RX25, big congratulations. 25 and 26, big congratulations. The adorning of this prestigious white coat today is a call into the reality of the profession. Let us remember the oath we have declared today and the weight of the responsibility that this coat carries, that whenever we are called upon, we would answer effectively and efficiently. To all who played a role in the success of this program, both seen and unseen, both mentioned and not mentioned, we say thank you and may God richly bless you. Coming here today, I believe that we have all obtained some nuggets of wisdom, an impact created that would always be remembered. I would like to conclude the quote from Martin Luther King, and it states that our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter. Today, I'd like us all to identify the things that matter to each and every one of us, no matter the circumstance you find yourself in, for whatever obstacle you seek to overcome, whatever level of greatness you seek to embrace. Put on your own white coat and keep moving forward. For once we see it, live it, believe it, and work towards it, we can achieve it. Forever the mantra, we can and we will. Thank you.
And to Ms. Manuela Kofi, we say thank you for coming to thank us. Now we shall invite the Department of Music so that we'll be able to sing the UCC Anthem again. Can we please be upstanding?
UCC,
invite Reverend Professor Kankam-Buadoh to give us the closing prayer. But please, after the closing prayer, we shall remain standing so that the Vice Chancellor and his entourage can leave the auditorium before we can also leave. Thank you very much. Can we please clap as Reverend Professor Kankam-Buadoh comes up to give us the closing prayer.
Let us remain focused as we give reverence to the ultimate reality, our living God, who has made things possible in this transition. Gracious and merciful God, as we come to the end of this white coat ceremony, we bow our heads in gratitude and reverence. May your presence go and continue to be showered upon us, in particular our university. Grant us strength and courage to carry our responsibility with integrity and compassion. We ask for your continual presence. May we see your hands as your students are transition. May you guide them with wisdom. Above all, what it takes for them to do their clinicals, we present them unto you, and we ask that your presence be showered upon all. Above all, may the Lord bless us all and keep us. The Lord make his face shine upon us. The Lord lift up the countenance upon us and give us peace that surpasses all understanding. This and many others we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you very much, Reverend Professor Kankam-Buadoh. Please, like I indicated, the Vice Chancellor and him, they would proceed out of the auditorium, followed by faculty. After that, the Dean would offer any announcement that is there. So please, let's hold on.
white coat for me serves as a reminder of my duties and my responsibilities associated with pharmacy as a profession. I aspire to be a clinical pharmacist because it is deeply fulfilling to contribute directly to the well-being of patients and to see the tangible results of my work in the form of their smiles and their improved health. However, I also hope to become a versatile pharmacist, adaptable and knowledgeable in all fields of pharmacy.
A white coat to me represents responsibility and trust. It is a privilege to show care and service to others with integrity and compassion. It reminds me of the very reason I started this journey 4 years ago, which is to give back to my community. I aspire to continue